Good afternoon, good morning. If you are just joining us, we're going to give it just another minute or two for some more registrants to jump on. So just bear with us and we'll get started shortly. All right, we can go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us today for the March Property Intel office hours. We have the usual group here today. Joshua, if you could hit that next slide. I'm Kelsey McGraw, Senior Product Marketing Manager. We have Joshua Martin, Principal Product Manager, who will take us through the new features and the demo of those, and Zach Decker, Product Manager, who's here to help field any questions that you may have. So for today, just like usual, we will cover those new features and improvements, see a demo of them, and then have some time at the end for any questions that arise. So use those Zoom tools down in the bottom of your screen. You can use the chat or the Q&A, and we will address those questions as they come up. So jumping right in. New features this week, we have some new project settings improvements, some reference maps improvements, and some general improvements and bug fixes today that Joshua will show us a bit of each of those. So Joshua, if you want to take over here.
Yeah, happy to do that. Um, yeah, so wanted to kind of look at just a couple of different things related to each of those particular features. So we can look at the project settings page first, where we've done a lot to update the UI, streamline some things, also just make a navigation around it a little bit better. And then we added some new feature functionality as well to that particular area. So want to kind of just quickly show how you would get to this area of the product. And so if you're on your projects list or the dashboard, anywhere where you're viewing projects, whenever you hover over a particular project, you'll see that there's this view details. View details will take you to the product page within here. So this is your project settings area. So that's the way that you get to it from one of the main navigation panels. If you're in the drawing view, let me show that really quickly. So if you're in the editor, you can also get to this simply by coming down here at the bottom. It says edit project, and there's this little settings sprocket. It's just the bottom right-hand corner. If you click edit project, it'll also bring you to this particular page. So some of the things that we've done to update and improve, we've spent some time around navigation. Previously, this was tabs across the top here. So you could add different sections to a project. The way that you would use sections is, think of it like scopes of work. If you had, everything was maybe one project, but you had a lot of different scopes. And so you wanted to keep the plan pages and the items list completely separate from one another. That's when you might use multiple sections. So an example might be you've got irrigation and then you have landscaping. And so you want to draw or annotate those two things separately. So you might have an irrigation section on a project and a landscape section of the project. And so those plan pages and then the material list associated with those would be completely separate. And so previously this was kind of like horizontal tabs across here at the top of the page. And so this created a number of challenges in the UI around your experience whenever you had several different tabs. You quickly ran out of real estate depending on under the size of the screen that you were on. And so doing the horizontal scroll was difficult for users to be able to see and to be able to quickly navigate to a section. And so we changed this to be a drop down. This one only has one particular section in it, but I can add one just to show you what that looks like. And so if you had multiple sections within a particular project, then this drop down here, they would each come down vertically shown. So if you had several, it's a lot faster to be able to find the one that you're looking for and navigate to it than having to horizontally scroll and figure out whenever names are hidden with it, especially with when you had longer section names. So that navigation was updated. We spent some time as well simplifying this over on the left, the details panel. Previously, this was like you had separate different tabs across it. So we were able to get everything into one. Also kind of fix the project tags area where these were not very clear to be able to see. So we added some internal scrolling to this area so that you can see those tags when they're added to it. Also an archive project button. So if you needed to archive the project from within here, you can do that. So that's just some of the navigation features that we changed. Then kind of getting down to some of the other stuff around how you're viewing pages. We updated the look and feel of this. So they're kind of just a little bit of gray around the background. We also added in a grid view. So you can kind of have the list view or the grid view of the thumbnails. So it's just a quick, cleaner way to look at these things and to be able to see the different pages. Also including a page count. And so whenever you have PDFs that have numerous pages, you'll be able to kind of see that particular page count here at the top. We also added in some improvements to how you're duplicating sections. So if you wanted to duplicate a section, you can do that. Previously, whenever we duplicated it, you kind of had to duplicate everything. It was just a whole complete copy. Now we've added a little bit more granularity to it. If you were on lane one, this is similar to how you interacted with that feature functionality, but you can duplicate just the pages of the section. You can duplicate the pages in the items list, or you can duplicate everything, a whole copy of it. And so these toggles here on and off would be able to turn on and off whatever you wanted to duplicate in a particular section. So that's in this menu here at the top. We also added download functionality here. So you can create the section report. And so that's going to open up that report builder. Coming soon, we're actually just spending a good bit of time on this report builder, improving how you're interacting with that and adding more of our advanced reporting features there. But today it's as it is, where you just get that new page that has the list that you can interact with, and you can additionally export out this page as a CSV if you needed to here. But then also that spreadsheet, you can download the item spreadsheet that's kind of has all the data from your project that you can download as well. And then beyond the export items, we added in the ability to do some editing to your catalog items here. So previously, I think you could just control the ordering of this. So that's maintained. You can drag and drop and reorder here. Sometimes this offers a little bit easier place to do that than in the drawing view. But then also you can edit. So you can, if you hover over a particular item, there's an edit pin. You can open that up and you can edit the particular details about that item for how you want them. So can provide a quick way to do those within the project here as you're setting up your project and you're getting going related to that. So that kind of covers all the different updates related to the project settings, I believe. So looking at my list here is one of the little small thing that we added the ability to just quickly copy the address. So there's a copy button if you need to copy the address, paste it into Google Maps or something related to that. Let me go back out to my dashboard and we're going to look at reference map improvements. I'm going to go to a reference map. And so we showed a lot of this last month where we've been working on this area. The main goal of this is we're adding in feature functionality that helps to better support using reference maps for things like inspections of sites. And so just giving a lot more information, a lot more detail that you can add in on pins, that you can, how you can organize your pins related to it. So looking at it for what we've added in this release, we've added that ability where you can delete and you can rename reference map groups. So if you click the little button, that's where the menu is where you can delete the group and you can add additional pins to the group. For renaming, we added in this details panel. So if you hover over any one, you can click it, and then that the details for that particular group are going to show over here on the right. And so if you need to rename the group, you would just click in the group name to rename it. We added in tag functionality, so you can add tags on groups. And so that's going to come in useful for some of the report building functionality that we're currently building out related to this. But then also for a particular group, when you're selected on it, you can focus a pin. So focus to a pin. So for instance, we're showing all the pins that are in this group. So you can see over here the safety in these two pins. And then we're showing a quick view of all those here. When you hover over one of these, this little focus button appears. And so I can click that. It's going to center my map on that particular pin and highlight it for you. And it's going to also show you all the information related to that. And so all the name, anything that you filled out here. And again, we've added tags into this area, so you can add tags to this to the pin as well. Related to it, you can do add connections, so you can create a project from the pin too. So a lot of different stuff added in within this particular area. I encourage you to use. You're going to access that by going to a property in PropertyIntel, and you'll see the reference maps area there. One last thing related to this it's more not in a general availability release, but we're doing it in a beta release. And so this has to do with an integration with Aspire. So if you're an Aspire user and you're interested in baiting this feature functionality, you can reach out to Kelsey or myself or Zach, and we'd be happy to turn it on for you once it gets released out later this week. And so that one is being able to import from Aspire. And so with this, we're able to use an integration with Aspire to get the information related to any site audit that you've done in Aspire, and then we can essentially auto-populate that information onto a reference map, so we can show all the pins around in a map view. So it kind of fills in a little bit of a gap that Aspire has with site audits, and being able to have this kind of map driven view related to site audits. You can also use it to start to gather information across multiple site audits from Aspire. So if you wanted kind of one map to show all the site audits that were happening and being able to share that out to a customer, you can do that. But yeah, you would just click import from Aspire. It's going to do a search of that Aspire site audit, pull all those audits that may be particularly that may be on this particular ones. They would be here. You can check the box of the ones that you want to import. You can choose how you want the pins to be named, and then it's going to import that audit. Depending on how large that is, may take a few seconds it could take longer than that to be able to pull in that information. So I don't know if we want to wait on it. It takes a second or two to kind of do, but yeah, here it is. So you can see here's the information that we brought in. There's 3 different categories in this particular site audit that we brought over. So like if I click on the group, you can see the information related to it. If we expand out the group, the groups here, you can see that there were photos related to these. So they had the tags that are in Aspire, we bring over as description bullet points here. So these would have been tags in Aspire. And then again, the attachment. So the photo that was from Aspire would be down here in the attachments area. So you can kind of see that we bring in that photo related to it. So really useful functionality to kind of help continue our seamless integration from Aspire and PropertyIntel. And so again, will be in beta. We want to kind of get it tested, get some additional feedback from Aspire users before we roll it out to general availability for all those Aspire users. So if you're interested in us turning that on for your company, just reach out to us and we'd be happy to enable that once it gets out into production. I think that's really the most in terms of things that we demo and that we would end up showing here. But like Kelsey showed, like we showed in the slide, there are a number of other general bug improvements that we made, lots of different things related to just some UI inconsistencies. And then we fixed probably one of the major ones. If you're not an Aspire user and you've been using some of our estimating functionality in PropertyIntel, we revised that Excel download that comes out with the markup view the takeoff download. And so in that, we changed the way that the material costs are shown to where they're just showing the item cost of a parent material rather than some of the roll-up costs like it was doing before. Helps to kind of that helps to just be a little bit clearer about those costs associated with that within the download. And also we have coming out just where we revise some of the scaling of object sizes to be a little bit more true to size, especially when you're using those for irrigation and you want some of the quarter and the half circle, some of those symbols that are more specific to irrigation. We had a little bit of padding around some of those that caused them to not be exactly true to size when you were counting irrigation heads or placing those. So we had some irrigation designers using those to show the spray arcs. And so we wanted to get that dialed in a little bit more accurate in the scaling. So kind of moving forward then to our roadmap outlook. Just here's kind of what we're looking at for this coming year. And so we are getting closer and closer to collaborative editing, looking to have that to start being able to get some beta testing for that by the end of April. And so we're continuing to work hard on that, but we are definitely seeing the finish line coming through. It's been a huge initiative, and I'm sure if you've been coming to these office hours for the past several months, you've seen that. So it's nearing the end. The same with the site audits and inspections. That's all the reference map features we demoed last month. This month, we've probably got about 1 month or so worth of releases related to that to be able to finish out that workflow. And then we'll be getting into project exports and our PDF takeoff automations. And so those are the next two largest feature sets coming in, improving really the resolution of the export view. We've seen the popularity of the export view when you're looking to export out pages from a project. And so we're going to be doing some work to improve the resolution there and have a little bit more flexibility in that feature functionality for you to export with. And then PDF takeoff automations, adding in leveraging AI functionality to be able to help you speed up takeoffs on PDFs specifically. So for construction type jobs, being able to do auto counts, searching text, and populating your list as well. And so a lot of different feature functionality that we have improved. That one's going to stretch several months, probably worth of releases here this summer. And then kind of moving on, I mentioned about the section report builder, map metadata. We want to continue being able to give you more value out of your projects. And so we talk about it a lot, that the value Property Intel brings you extends far beyond just the initial takeoff. We want you to have resource and have data assets that you can be able to do things like promoting enhancement cells within your organization and be able to leverage the data on individual properties. And so a huge way of doing that is being able to have metadata on objects, on areas that you draw, so you can do reporting, you can do filtering, viewing, that type of stuff, to be able to have not just a repository of that information, but be able to have that information in a way that makes it usable. Like I said, for doing things like growing your revenue through enhancement cells. Property dashboard, just cleaning up whenever you're looking at looking at a property in PropertyIntel. So that's that properties area, giving you an updated UI there. Image editing improvements. So that's that kind of 2D photo editing. We've got a number of features related to that we're planning to roll out for you towards the end of this year. Same with additional drawing tools, and then user permissions, being able to have more granular user permissions for your organization. So that's kind of a roadmap preview of what we're looking at for the next kind of 12. So
Awesome. Thanks so much, Joshua. That will do it for our new release of the month. I'm going to leave it open for another minute or so for any questions that you might want us to address before we wrap up here. But I'll also take the time to thank you for coming in. I know it's getting into the busy season, so we appreciate you spending some time with us. And on that, you will be receiving the Property Intel Insider on Thursday.
we're still here. So I think Kelsey was having a little bit of internet in and out. So, but yeah, I don't know if we have any questions yet. Give it like a couple more seconds. Well, good deal. We appreciate everybody coming. If you have any questions on the new feature functionality, definitely reach out. Be looking for everything in this release to be available to you come Thursday. There are some of that we demoed that's already out, and then more coming soon. So, but yeah, the full release should be available to everyone this Thursday. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Hope you have a good day.